Welcome back, everybody. Episode 113 of Illiana Stock Car Radio.
Oh, man, we should have had Gardner on.
Oh, missed opportunity. Total missed opportunity there. But we digress nonetheless. I'm your host, Jeremy Benning. Along with me are the brothers Goodaker, Brian, and Chris. And guys, it's been a minute.
Yeah, how was your vacation?
Not the best. Not the best. Had to take a dog to Purdue and have some surgery. So, well, it's a little bit lighter. Not a whole lot of time at the racetrack. What about you guys?
Nothing but the racetrack.
Nothing but the racetrack, right? So somebody's got to do it.
Both ends of the equilibrium there.
2 or 3 day weekends in a row.
Spectrum.
Got rained out one of them. So, and then Brian had 3 races in 7 days.
Yep, Saturday to Saturday. We raced Saturday the 5th. Turned around, had Hell Tour the Tuesday the 8th, and then raced again Saturday the whatever it was 8th. No.
That's 11.
12.
Yeah, there's math involved.
12. A lot of racing. Last time we were on was just before the fan appreciation night at Shadyhill. Had a great time with the wrestlers. I actually been talking to Kyle quite a bit. They got the pictures and they had a great time. In fact, I think he said he booked like 3 or 4 shows just from being at Shadyhill. So
nice.
I know the very next weekend they're back in Portage and New Chicago.
Yep.
In fact,
you go up there, you start your training yet?
yeah, right. So that was definitely a good time. I know Kankakee has rained out a couple times. They got their Lee Hall show in finally. They had a 4th of July show. I was drinking poolside with some beers and friends. Unfortunately, the Mid-Ams on Dirt show, that got rained out last Friday. So I have not been to Kankakee in a while. I know there's a little bit of drama with the factory stock class there as the guys are selling out left and right. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I guess we'll see here the rest of the season how things go. But they have this Friday, the Wednesday, I think like a week and a half from now, they got the Wednesday fair show, and then they don't come back again until August 22nd. So we don't have much to talk about Kankakee for a while, but I look forward to getting back out there in August. Obviously, we've got things planned this Friday at the Grundy County Motor Speedway for our Dad's Memorial. So you can catch both of us, and if you look in the stands, potentially some family members out there celebrating Dad, enjoying some racing. So do our weather dance, rain dance, whatever we need to do to hold off and get Friday night in. But I was actually talking to Mom or maybe Kelsey and talking about the race coming up, and I'm like, it's fitting that this weekend would probably be the Wayne Carter Classic.
Yeah.
And they're calling for rain.
Yep.
That's just fitting, right? So, but that being said, there's been a lot of racing that been going on, and look forward to a lot more. Over at Plymouth, they are officially Fridays. Mini wedges are still going.
Yep.
I think
they've only got 2 left as of recording this.
Yep. And of course, there's Facebook drama everywhere. We get to we'll talk a little bit about that later from Shadyhill's standpoint, and our guest Cameron, who will be on here in a little bit. But the kind of big news pieces out of Plymouth, aside from moving to Fridays, is Tony, our beloved Tony, has officially retired and set off to the sunset to, I think, kind of he's been pushing Hartford, so I think he's friends with him over there. But he has to
get a lot of craft fairs,
flea markets and stuff.
Too.
So he's not gone.
He's kind of settled into his retirement, doing whatever he wants to do whenever he wants to do it.
We will miss seeing him at the track, and hopefully get to see him sooner rather than later. But the sad news out of there, I guess the sadder news, depending on who you are, is the Brandon Ross updates and that accident and how that all unfolded. I know from where I was sitting, I just saw, has anybody heard from him? He's missing. And then 2 or 3 days later, they had found him in a ditch kind of deal. And he had a motorcycle accident and was airlifted and getting treated. The latest update, if you can maybe find on Facebook through his racing page, I think is Brandon Ross Racing or 12 Racing. His sister, I believe it is posting. I think Chris can confirm that. I'm just taking a shot in the dark because they have the same last name. All the updates are there. I know Mini Wedge Sunday. Some guy, side note, I kind of humbled a guy from South Bend because he asked, do you know who I am? I go, not a clue, brother. I feel bad, but he had asked.
Who was it?
It was some driver from South Bend. I don't remember the name, but
now you're humbling him again. Jeez.
Yeah, I think he.
Which cart was he attached to?
I want to say Carter Holderman maybe, but he was he drove a 55 maybe, and he said he hasn't driven in a while because he's been on diabetic medicine and stuff. I don't know. He gave me his whole life story, and I would just apologize. I'm I only shot there once. I don't really know South Bend drivers that well, but he had asked me about Brandon Ross, and I said the best I got is what I found on Facebook.
Yeah.
So for those of you listening that want to follow that update, I know that they're posting over on his page, and you can find that all on Facebook. There's a benefit ride coming up in September. There's GoFundMe. There's T-shirt and sticker sales going on, all to benefit him in his recovery. And we hope for the best for him.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah,
We'd like to see him back. And I know there's a lot of question marks in the air right now as far as his future, but we certainly hope to see him healthy again one day and ideally behind the wheel.
Yeah.
So, on a positive note, there's a lot of racing, and we are at the halfway point for pretty much all things considered. We're far past the halfway point at Plymouth. They're wrapping up here in 4 or 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, before we move on to our guest of honor tonight, be sure to get yourself to the racetrack. Yeah, right. Make sure you get to the racetrack. This summer's going fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. This week, first time, long time. Brian, they're one of your guys from Shadyhill, Cameron Shidler.
Avid listener. He loves the show. Okay, he likes the show.
Okay, I'll apologize for the first time listening to the show. The rest of the time's on him.
Yeah, but certainly excited to have him on. He's a great kid, and they've got a great family. Cool story. Can't wait to hear all about it. And a Purdue guy.
Yeah.
So we love that.
I mean, that's the best part. So
yeah.
What do you say we get to it?
Let's bring him on.
Yeah. All right. Here is a competitor out of Shadyhill Speedway, Cameron Shidler.
All right, so with us tonight we have Cameron Shidler, driver of the Chester Ag Inc. Is it EBY or
EB?
EB truck bodies, GEC X, is that right? GEC X, GEC X, Thailand Excavating, Black Widow Graphics, Roberts Painting, L&D Farms, M&M Gregory sponsored, Kern Racing Engine Powered, Diamond Chassis, number 11S Modified, Cam Shidler from Monticello, Indiana, and a Purdue grad. We appreciate that. Boiler up.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we just said, how you kind of been bending my ear a little bit to come on, so we appreciate you listening, even if it's just select shows, but we appreciate you coming on with us tonight and,
can
talking.
listen to the asphalt shows.
I do. I listen. I appreciate it.
And talking kind of all things Shadyhill a little bit. So you found yourself into victory lane not once, not twice, but 3 times this year in a Diamond Chassis. And often we see, shout out to Ryan Thomas, he's a hell of a car builder apparently for the Hill, because I know I sent him a picture one time where diamonds were 1, 2, 3, 4. And so you guys have been having quite the year, only to be kind of trumped right now by another Shidler, Bryce. So let's talk about your season. We'll kind of go there, and then from there we'll kind of talk about the Shidler lineage, because there's quite a few Shidlers roaming the pits at Shadyhill Speedway.
Yeah, certainly. So this year we've had a really good start. We've rattled off 3 wins and maybe seven races so far. Bryce has been trumping me here towards the end. That's been a little bit tough, but we got a new Diamond KT3 to start the year. Ryan and Dia have done a really good job at building cars, especially for Shadyhill. I mean, they're really good elsewhere, but Shadyhill is home for me. So we've rattled off, I think, 3 feature wins, couple of heat race wins here and there. I don't have the best luck when it comes to a pill draw, So that's been biting me in the tail. But we've had a really good season so far.
Good. And we're kind of closing on halfway. I checked today, which would be Tuesday. Points are not quite updated yet on the website, but as of 7-5, you are second in points, only behind Bryce, which is impressive because Frank Marshall really started the season off just collecting win after win, and he is also in a diamond. Boy, this is turning into a diamond chassis infomercial at this point, but yeah, I know you've been having quite the year. You did sit out the other night for Hell Tour for. I don't know. You can explain why you sat out.
Yeah. So I've missed 2 nights so far. I think I missed the very opening night. I had some prearranged plans there. And then the Hell Tour, I would have loved to race. I would not have loved to been in that 7-8 car pileup that had like 4 diamonds in it, because that would have been pretty expensive. But that's a quick turnaround for us. It's still a hobby for me at the end of the day. Mom and Dad got to work. I work full time. Saturday to Tuesday doesn't give us a lot of time to really get back into the grind.
Yeah. You have quite the list of sponsors, one of which you work for, right? The truck body company. So as a avid weekend warrior, talk about your kind of like weekly game plan here. And I assume at this point you're running for points.
I've been joking with Mom and Dad, like we're not racing for points. We just happen to be close. If I can hold on, and maybe
that's how it happens.
Cool. Yeah,
that's how it happens.
It's no pressure that way.
No pressure. If I happen to, be up front at the end, cool. If not, we had a good season still. But yeah, the week to week, day to day for us. Of course, like I said, Mom and Dad and I all work full time. So usually Sunday's always wash day. Monday, Tuesday. If it's not yard care, it's usually tire prep, body damage, because I like to beat the nose and beat the deck pretty hard. And then we get towards Thursday, Friday, getting the car all shined up, loaded, ready to go. Thankfully, this year I've had a really good season. I haven't beat the car up too bad. So maintenance-wise has been pretty easy so far.
Good. I know you drivers like your easy maintenance.
Yeah. Exactly.
I will comment that in the Firecracker 50, you had some body panels hanging off there towards the end of the race.
Yeah, I wasn't too proud of that. Yeah.
So, Mr. I'm
Door
not beating.
flying in the wind.
Yeah, made for cool pictures.
Yeah.
But Mr. I'm not banging things, or you banged a few door panels on that 50-lap race, which was a pretty good race. Shadyhill. I know there's quite a bit of a hot topic going around right now with the Hill Tour show that we put on, but they still put on good races out there at Shadyhill, and so you call it home. So I know that a few guys have kind of moved up and moved on, and they return for the big shows. But ultimately, what is your calling to Shadyhill? Is it proximity? You're still a hobby guy. You're obviously not going to go chase points on a touring series where you need an RV and stuff and all that. But what is it about Shadyhill that you love so much?
So I'm going to get my roads right here. Shadyhill Speedway is on County Road 300 North. I grew up on County Road 200 North, so I was always 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. So Shadyhill's always been home. I say it in my banquets when I can go. That's my backyard. That's where I've spent a lot of Saturdays growing up, and every time I'm in Victory Lane, I look at the kids and I just think, man, I was that little kid in the grandstands not too long ago. So my dad... I can make a long story. So my dad started probably 20 some odd years ago. One of his drunk buddies bought a race car, brought it to our house, but kept the steering wheel. And my dad was upset because they did donuts in the yard, and he didn't even get the chance to drive it because they took the steering wheel home. So fast forward, Dad bought himself a car, started racing at Shadyhill. He's been in almost all the classes we've had there, bombers, I-mods, modified street stocks, you name it, sportsman, he's been in it. So Dad's what really brought me into Shadyhill. So I started racing full-time at the age of 12 there, in the Teen Ford class, I think just before you guys started taking pictures at the track.
Yeah.
Got my full-time start there when I was about 12. Ran the 4 cylinders for a couple of years back when it was still a teenage class from 12 to 19. I moved up into the Crate Late Model division down at Grundy Speedway, Camp Motor Speedway formerly. So I ran that for another couple of years. Decided that's a lot of car for a young kid at being 13, 14. There's a lot to take on, a lot of adjustments, a lot of driving style. And we decided to come back home. That was 45 minutes to an hour drive every night. So we got back into the iMods. I was probably 15, I want to say. Progressed through there, got into the modifieds in 2020, and that's where I've been ever since.
Yeah, and you've certainly come a long way from 2020. You know, I think a lot of us have, truthfully. But yeah, you've made big strides. I remember one of your speeches at the points banquet, where you made your mom jealous because you were getting a bigger diamond than she had.
Oh yeah. She's still missing that diamond, and kitchen counters have been on her recent radar, but we bought a diamond.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And so I know Brad DeYoung and Ryan. I mean, I feel like they're hand in hand, and they're always talking, it seems, and going to races together. I know at one of the Shadyhill races where Ryan showed up, Brad and him were talking a lot about setup and stuff. But what kind of relationship do you have with Ryan and the Diamond Crew? They seem to be very friendly and very outgoing and willing to share information. Of course, that'll come at a price too.
Oh yeah, just like anything in racing does, whether it's photography, being in the stands. I mean, it all comes at a cost. But the Diamond Group's been huge for my success as of late, and we got a really good team of drivers now. Do Frank and I share setup notes all the time? No. But if something were to go wrong, Ryan and Dia, Chad, all the boys down at Diamond, they got a parts list with everything. Whether it's measurements, load numbers, get your back kind of put in the right direction. Super, super helpful people to work with. I know Dad and I have just been reaching out to them. I broke a chain limiter on the left front this week, so partially why Bryce was beating on me this week. Okay. But we're getting the car back dialed in, and they've been a huge help. And as to Brad, I know I can say it. Don't mind the steering wheel going off in the background, but a lot of the other drivers in the modified class can really attest to Brad being a helping hand for them. He's been a huge mentor for us. So when I started 5 years ago in 2020, I was in a Pierce clamp car that was formerly Brad DeYoung's, and he had it built, I want to say 2016 or 2018, but it was like a 2006 Nick Allen copy. It was really what it was. And he really got us going into that car. As you guys know, technology kind of ages, so you got to move up and chassis there. So he really steered us toward the Diamond direction, and we got that select last year. Got that rolling pretty well, and we fortunate enough to get a KT3 and be where we're at today.
Yeah, good. And that certainly seems to be the premier modified in our area. I know Elite is very good, but I don't think we have any Elites at the racetrack, truthfully, because Jamie was about the only one.
Jamie, I think
Kittle had one
Dylan
for a
Caldwell's
while.
got one.
Yeah, okay.
There's a few floating
That's right.
around.
He's back.
There's a few.
He's back. Yeah, and I know that there's a lot of hot topic as far as chassis builders go. I know if you ever watch any of the dirt late models, it's all they talk about is what chassis somebody's running.
Yep.
And whatever Jonathan Davenport's doing, everybody needs a copy because the guy can't lose, it seems, right?
Yep.
And maybe the Diamonds are headed in that direction. If nowhere else, at least Shadyhill, right?
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna claim I helped sell a lot of the chassis, but I like to think I helped. I like to think I helped. The salesman in me thinks I helped. So
yeah, sure. So a salesman at heart, right, and a race car driver on the side. So
it pays the bills.
Yeah. So what ultimately did you go to school for down there at Purdue? Sales or racing?
Really wanted to go for racing. Not much of an engineer.
Yeah.
The math part's pretty hard, I'll be honest. So
Agreed.
I went down for a bachelor's in ag business. So I did study for that. I got a minor in real estate, and then I also focused on entrepreneurship and innovation. So I tried to be a well-rounded business person by the time I got out of school, and thankfully I got picked up by EV Trailers and Truck Bodies on a Logan Sport, and
awesome.
Made a pretty good gig for myself.
And you can drive a race car.
Oh yeah, they're big supporters of it too.
Yeah, good. So let's talk about the rest of the season. What are your plans moving forward?
Hot topic. This week it looks like we got a lot of rain coming, so not sure what we'll have for this weekend. But probably continue running Shadyhill, not for points, obviously not for points, but still running at Shadyhill.
No points.
I'd like to venture out some more. I know Circle City's been on my dad's hit list. I like to run Mount Pillier for the Monster Mash in October. That's a pretty cool little track there. If you guys saw the Hell Tour night there, they put on a pretty good show.
They did.
It's a little scary. They don't have walls on the outside, and you can really go off the back stretch there if you're trying. So that's a pretty fun little track. I'd love to go down to Lincoln Park, but again, it's a time and money thing. When these places are an hour and a half, 2 hours away, it's not always easiest to get down there.
Sure. Well, good. And we certainly look forward to seeing you not run for points at Shadyhill. Just casually show up as long as the doors are on and it drives. Just do your best, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we were, as an avid listener, you would probably know, but we were doing one positives, which have now kind of turned into a what did I call it? A conversation, a dialogue. Looking for dialogue. And recently it was, how do we get more fans at the tracks? And if you look at any of the pictures from the previous 3 weekends, which I think this has got to be a side note here, it's just got to be that time of the year, or buses, really. But Shadyhill was full stands Saturday night, the 5th for the Firecracker 50 and the fireworks show. Always a packed stands. It just seems like that's what anybody in that area does. Honestly, I think there were more fans for that than the Hell Tour, but again, a packed crowd for the Hell Tour race. And
for a Tuesday night too, that was good.
Yeah, and so you can argue the whole streaming thing versus going there live, but we did a good job of putting fans in the stands. And so this week, with all of that going on, Grundy had a bunch of people in the stands too. We can't forget about them. They did a good job with their fair week and their bus race, which truthfully bus races will put people in the stands no matter what. It could be raining, people will show up for it, especially when they flip them over and send it, which is pretty neat. But ultimately, we're kind of in a spot where we're on that borderline of like, we have a voice and can kind of direct dialogue and get people talking and stuff, but I don't know that we quite have that following to like make big changes. But as I'm sure you saw, social media again was a big knife in our back, despite having a good car count and a good show. Ultimately, the track surface was, insert explicit here from so-and-so keyboard warrior. But as a driver of a track, and Shadyhill's home, you love it there, and so you might be a little biased, much like myself. Where do you find yourself caught up in the social media drama? Do you stay away from it? Do you kind of look at it and say, this is where we can get better? Where are you as a driver in that mix? Do you feed into it?
No, I definitely don't feed into it. I do just kind of sit back and watch and see what everybody's got to say, good or bad. It's unfortunate, but if we can take it as something to move forward on, as an opportunity, just an opportunity to improve. We're all human. It's not easy running a racetrack. It's not easy running a business. It's not easy running a race car. So if we can take back and look at it as an opportunity on how can we grow, where can we grow. I know track surface is always huge, and the people on social media might not have seen, probably 6-7 weeks ago, that first night I won, that track was pretty rough. It was badass though. We had a big old berm in 3 and 4, and you could really
Yes,
you could really
did.
rip the berm. But if you're on the bottom, you're hitting the holes.
Yeah.
So I just take it with a grain of salt. It's unfortunate to see because all these people want to put in their opinions, but then they don't actually, try and make it a better place. Not to name drop anybody, but there's so many out there, and it's unfortunate.
I saw them all.
Um,
I had a
but
beer
I think-
and a bucket of popcorn.
Exactly. I mean, just coming out, supporting, whether it's shooting a thoughtful text to Billy and Tammy, or just, sharing a positive idea, not just straight bashing the place.
Yeah.
I like to look at, we came a long way from 6-7 weeks ago. The track's pretty smooth now.
Yeah.
And your late model guys are going to complain. It's like, oh, well, so rubber down. Well, sorry, we just ran a 50-lap show with a 25-lap late model show the Saturday before.
Yeah, right.
It's not a quick turnaround. So it makes it challenging. And I will say, could there be improvements made? Yeah.
We can all improve,
Exactly.
Us as photographers, us as social media people, us as, I don't know if you want to say media influencers by any chance with our podcast, but
that's generous.
we got a long way to go, don't worry.
Illiana Stock Car Radio,
Yeah, he got it right on the first try.
I mean, he's a step ahead of you.
Yeah, right.
But
Well,
definitely, there's room to improve. I don't know. I don't want to get too specific, but
No,
definitely.
you're okay.
I don't know. If we could open up the track, definitely
Okay.
get some more moisture. What people don't really understand, and this is the farm kid coming out in me, is that Northwest
Come on, Egg
Indiana has some of the poorest soil. Whether you're farming, whether you're racing, just Northwest Indiana is a lot of sand, a lot of silt, a lot of loam, but that's not what the average race fan knows.
No.
So when you have
I don't even know that.
Exactly. So you have that thrown
I'm
at
not
you.
doing soil samples, but
You're trying to, try and combat against geography. That makes it pretty tough challenge to begin with.
Yeah.
So there's opportunities definitely get some moisture back into the track. I know I'm not a big fan of infield tractor tires. We can move them in a little bit more. We can get another groove going. But
well, one thing I've noticed, just even with the asphalt world, like we don't have tractor tires. We have typically rumble strips. And, you can make them as deep as potholes, and they will still get the left fronts inside the rumble strips. So as far as you want to move in those tractor tires, they're just going to come hit them even closer to the photographers.
Yeah.
Even a berm like Knoxville, I mean, I'd be okay with that because I feel like I'd tear up less stuff than hitting a concrete-filled tractor tire.
there's no concrete in there. It might feel like it.
It feels like concrete.
There's water. It catches rain from 2 weeks ago and it just sits there. A lot of mosquitoes.
There was the demo derby at Grundy on Saturday, or like 2 Saturdays ago. There was a kid playing in some of the big tractor tires we had that were, mapping out the enduro course, and I think Aaron went over and said, "You don't want to play in that water."
A little stagnant.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Cameron, and we look forward to seeing you at the track. Maybe at a new track. I probably won't be there, but taking Shidler Racing regional, I guess. But before you head out, you want to take a minute to thank all those sponsors I listed off and all of your supporters.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I can't forget my parents. Without them, always believing in me, I wouldn't have this opportunity here. Chester Ag Systems out in North Judson for all your irrigation, grain storage supplies, EV trailers and truck bodies. You need a flatbed or a service bed on your work truck, definitely give me a shout there. M&M Gregory, I know Marla gets a lot of pictures off you there. Shout out
love
to
Marla.
Robert's Painting Crew. They're a good family friend of ours. They're a house painting company out of Carmel, Indiana. Larry Centers with L&D Farms. He's been a huge supporter of my racing since I got into the modifieds. And he's got a few other mod guys out there as well. GECX Tile and Field Excavating. They're local. They're out of, I believe, Buffalo. I believe I'm correct there. Buffalo, Indiana. They're a good family friend of ours. They're a house painting company out of Carmel, Indiana. Larry Centers with L&D Farms. He's been a huge supporter of my racing since I got into the modifieds. And he's got a few other mod guys out there as well. GECX Tile and Field Excavating. They're local. They're out of, I believe, Buffalo. I'm not completely incorrect there. Buffalo, Indiana. I'm going to start forgetting now.
Oh. Brian, go down the list again.
I didn't have my list.
Black
Didn't have my
Widow
list
Graphics
ready.
is Black Widow and Kern and Diamond.
Yes, Black Widow Graphics. Thanks, Hayden, for the wrap this year. Travis Kern Racing Engines, of course. And can't forget to shout out Ryan and Dia Thomas with Diamond Race Cars.
Man. Well, we appreciate it. Sorry, my dog's bugging me over here. He wants attention. We appreciate you coming on finally, and feel free to harass Chris at any chance you get. You know,
Of course.
Rumor has it there might be a special appearance this Saturday night if I can talk him into it, and he doesn't have 3,000 photos from Friday night at our Father's Memorial Race over at Grundy County Speedway.
Yeah, try to put on a show for Chris and maybe get him back out there, as long as he doesn't bug you too much, Brian.
Oh, he's always bugging me. That's what brothers are for, right? That's what brothers are for.
Yep.
For sure.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good rest of your night.
All right, man.
Hey, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Let's forget that first 2 minutes even happened.
That's the story of my life. Forget
Maybe you
the
could
first 2 minutes.
maybe you just cut that part out.
Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how this is edited. Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you got an extra day. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, we all had
That's
a
right.
few weeks. Everybody got a little rusty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just knock your rust off. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
But it's good to hear from Cameron. I know that he's been itching to get on. I remember it was autograph night. He was asking me earlier this year. Speaking of autograph night, get your card orders in. We got round 2 coming up.
The second one's coming up here soon.
Yeah. PSA.
Yeah. And
somebody, one of us with the last name of Goodaker ought to get posting on the here's what we did last time. Get yourself in for the round 2.
Yeah. We got an extra day. I'll do it.
I mean, extra day. Where we get
Well, we're recording on Tuesday instead of Wednesday,
okay.
We didn't get an extra day. We didn't get an extra day. We flip-flop days.
Yeah, flip days.
Yeah. So
some of us are still editing pictures.
You're welcome.
By the time this is posted, I should have.
God, I hope so. You're gonna be at the racetrack still editing.
By the time this is posted,
I've done that before.
By the time this is posted, we'll all be on our way to the next racetrack. So
but yeah, it's good to hear from him, man, and that's what we do is we share stories. You know, we want to keep racing going, and to hear his story on where he started and where he's at now, and kind of where he looks to be is. A lot of the people that get into racing could be very similar. You know, much like Chris and I, we were drugged to the track, not by choice, but because that's where we had to be, sort of thing.
Before we knew what racing was.
Yeah, right. But we live close, and that's where we went. And that's what Dad did, so that's what we did.
That's honestly one of my favorite memories from Illiana, and this is going to sound sarcastic, but it's not really, is having a half-hour drive home.
that was so nice.
I think I'm at 40 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. And let me tell you, the traffic leaving Shadyhill Speedway, Madeireville, Indiana, there's a lot of deer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, four-legged traffic.
You gotta keep your eyes peeled, man. Mom's looking out her window, I'm looking out my window. Like, where they coming?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm bringing Aaron home from Grundy and is asleep before Joliet. So getting back Indiana, it's all me.
Yeah.
Well, I will. I'll do my best to stay awake on Friday, or I guess today when this posts. Yeah. I'll talk your ear off.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah. Which we've learned from here. I can talk. You just give me something to talk about. I'll ramble on.
Yeah.
After that first couple minutes when he gets
after the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh boy. It's gonna be the title of the episode. After the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. Great. With a spicy link.
Yeah, the after dark link.
Oh man.
It was great to have Cameron on. You gotta like people get on here and they're enthusiastic and well spoken and
able to click the link.
Able to click the link.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So we appreciate him coming on. But like we mentioned before the interview, a lot of racing has gone on and a lot of racing coming up. Just a lot going on. Yeah.
So dirt-wise, like I just said kind of in the intro, King of Keys got a couple races, and they're they're kind of on a hiatus there until the end of August. And then I know Shadyhill, we're just clicking away on Saturdays. I think we're down to 10 races. Let me count real quick. Don't mind me.
Wasn't prepared this time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Got
6,
enough fingers
7,
and toes
8,
there, or-
9, 10. After Saturday, we're in single-digit events for Shadyhill.
It's got 10.
Yeah.
So currently at 10.
Time's going way too fast.
Yeah. As for Plymouth, they got like 5. So
Yeah.
get out there. You're right.
5, 2
The
big
last call for
Grundy's
Plymouth
got like
Motor Speedway.
176, I think.
Yeah.
That's just the rest of this month.
Right.
Oh man. But this Friday night, so when this releases, it'll be the Ron Goodaker Memorial out there at Grundy
that's
County.
one I've been looking forward to.
So we'll
honestly,
have a good time.
For a few years.
And I think by the social media post, Plymouth has dropped their Ron Goodaker Memorial name.
Yeah,
it's just a gambler now.
There's, with everything going on at Plymouth, everything's still kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
Because Tony had said, the Outlaw late model portion of the Gambler is going to be named for Dad, and then the Street Stocks was Doug Fox, and I think with Tony's departure, that all the promotion is kind of not falling by the wayside so much as they're kind of sweeping up the pieces, and okay, here's what we're doing going forward.
Yeah.
So feelings are turned. I want the track to survive, succeed. Have that event be great. I wish I could be at it, but unfortunately, we're like we talked about. I think last episode we're butting into where Brian and I have yet to figure out how to clone ourselves. We're still working on it, but
yeah,
it'd be nice to be in several places at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. So if we could get people trained up and send them on their way, it won't be Goodaker Photography necessarily, but
it'll be Goodaker Photography. It'll just be
not good acres.
Not necessarily a good.
Yeah, right. I know. You've helped a handful of photographers along the way. Yeah, right. I know you've built a lot of photographers. You've helped build a lot of photographers in your.
Yeah, sometimes personally and sometimes just borrowing equipment.
Yeah, right. And I know that I'm starting to kind of guide some young minds that want to give this thing a try. And so shout out Camden Cooley. I don't know if you listen to this. Be cool if you did.
You're going to say there'll be a test later.
yeah, for being open to the idea. And I love his enthusiasm for the photography side and the videography side and getting some cool stuff for us and learning along the way. But the kid struggles with a little bit of confidence. He takes good photos and I can edit him to be better, certainly, just like my own stuff. But he must tell me like 4 times a night that he shoots. I just want him to be good enough for you, and I'm like, just shoot, man. Just learn.
Shoot.
Just learn.
They're going to be good enough with the practice and
I'll say what
anybody
I can
that'll
save.
listen. I say we edit absolutely everything that gets posted, so we're not perfect. We use all the tools in our toolbox.
That's right.
And it's just building a toolbox. So everybody's got to start from ground zero, square one.
And just like I tell him at least 4 times a night, it's not the camera, it's the photographer. So you can have the best in the business, the top of the line stuff, and you can still get shitty photos. Period. So
God knows
it's
Brian
not,
brings back better stuff using my cameras than I do with my cameras. So it's obviously not the camera.
I wasn't sure how that was going for a minute. So.
Yeah. I will
bring back dirty cameras, but better pictures.
Yeah, I will humble brag myself. The first night Camden came out, he brought his mom's T3i, and he just can't figure it out. He's like, how do I get good photos in this thing? And that's when I first told him. I said it's not the cameras.
That's exactly what we started with.
It's the photographer.
That's what we were using a decade ago.
And I took it from him, and I shot like 4 or 5 shots, and I gave it back to him, and he goes, "How'd you do that?" And so, just like the racing side of things, the business side of things, it doesn't matter what tools you have, you just got to know how to use them, right? And so I hope that everyone that listens to this understands that, whatever role you play in this racing world, that you use your tools for good, not evil.
I feel like that's a good. I feel like that's a good social media segue.
Dude, I absolutely, I don't own Shadyhill Speedway. We know that. Billy and Tammy do what we
you are
believe.
their surrogate promoter, though.
Yeah, what I believe to be the best that they can do with the resources that they have. And if you go out back, you can see that they've got like 3 defunct tow trucks. They've got a few tractor pieces, and they got a couple of tractors, a grader that I don't know if they run or not. You know, I haven't seen them used on a Saturday in a while, but I'm not out there during the week.
Right.
I can tell you that
the big thing is, that they live there. They're working on it every single day.
Right. And so it's we can sit at home on our computers and say whatever we want, but ultimately they know the truth, and that's what they have to live with. And I'm just happy to have a place to go shoot. You know, it's not perfect. You know, we got fights in the girls' bathrooms this weekend because, you know, racetrack drama. That wasn't started on Facebook, but I do believe was actually solved on Facebook. I saw a big apology.
Drama solved on Facebook?
Yeah. Well, the one reached out, I guess, and then, you know, mentioned that they had reached out to try to make things better on social media. So I guess it wasn't technically solved through social media, but was put on social media. But so
call that still a positive.
Yeah,
that is one positive this week. It's back.
When's the last time we had a one positive being social media?
I think kind of at the start of the season,
maybe
because of the way, you know, we use the tools for good.
Right.
You know, and
so just tie it all up in a bow here, Brian.
That's right. That's right. And you know, to finish my thought was, you know, I'm not the owner, and I am just a photographer for the most part, but I do believe that I do have some ties, and I take a lot of pride in what I do, and so Shadyhill is kind of like part of us now, and to see the backlash was very kind of disheartening, and the fact that I personally know 2 or 3 of the people that were saying bad things about the track, whether they know or not. You know, I saw you. Don't worry. I'm not going to hold it against you, because opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
And they usually stink.
That's right. That's right. But you know, we're going to keep going. You know, we got a place to race, and all 3 of us understand what it's like to lose a track. And you know, I think the worst was I saw someone say that they hope that this track closes because of how bad the race was. And to that I say stuff I can't say on the show. Truthfully.
Yeah, I haven't long enough beat for that, I don't think.
But ultimately, you know, we're still going to be here.
I hope your socks are always damp and your underwear is always itchy.
Yeah, right. And
or
so,
vice versa, one of the 2.
You know, I had to come to terms with, there's a lot of people on here that are griping that are just late model people. They don't care about support classes. They don't care about the sport itself. They just want to see the big, sexy race cars, and they want to see the wrecks. They want to see the wrecks. So there's,
you know, that's a good point there, because we had this discussion, I think, on the way to and from Mini Wedges on Sunday. Is people want to see stuff wrecks. People don't necessarily want to see cars going around in circles clean anymore.
Nope.
And also, the people that do want to see the cars going around in circles clean, they want to see the sexy cars. They don't want to see the cars that actually pay for the show to happen.
Yep. You know, it's Saturday night at Shadyhill. We had 6 late models, and we had, which one's in trouble, so he's got to race elsewhere. And we had 10 modifieds. What show are they going to put on? Which ultimately, who won late models? Drawing a blank.
If only you had like an entire folder of the pictures from Saturday night.
Yeah. Anyway, whoever won late models ran away with it. It'll come to me. I'll probably shout it out here in 2 minutes. And then the modifieds put on a great race. Just a 10 of them. It was Tim Sullivan Jr. and Bryce Shidler put on an absolute great race for just a normal Saturday night. And, Nick was there, but he didn't race. He was just hanging out in the stands. And, Brad has obviously moved on. Bo's moved on. And Frank wasn't around. So, I think some of these guys are probably getting ready for PDC sort of situation or chasing Mars. But, there weren't big names. There's no big money teams. There's a lot of money there, but no. And truthfully, Nick's not much of a big money team anymore. But he's got the equipment for sure. But ultimately, it was just like the regular Joes that show up, much like Cameron, the Weekend Warriors, and they put on a great race. And then we had 28 bombers and 30-something four-bangers that put on a good show too. Definitely footed the bill sort of situation. But, as we see people complain about racing and stuff, we do have to take into account who they are. Are they someone with a voice that genuinely can change people's thoughts, or are they just someone that wants the big sexy race cars to beat and bang around for 40 laps, and they want the hammer down track versus the black dry slick or whatever the situation. It's you can't lose sleep over it, and unfortunately I did for a couple days. But ultimately I got back to delivering beer and back to the racetrack, and everything's good again.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes. I could certainly go on rants about this stuff just because of the situations that we have seen as tracks fold up shop and disappear, and then everyone's like, well, what are we going to do now? Well, you dumb idiot. Maybe if you would have kept your mouth shut or tried
the track that you had.
Tried to use your tools for good. Okay, rant over.
He's got it.
Rant over for this episode. I'm sure
there'll be
things that happen.
I'm going to put a pin in it and save it for Friday night on the way home to keep you up.
Or the way there, the way home, either way.
How about both?
Yeah.
In the infield, in between races.
Give me the mic at Friday night. I'll say something. Don't.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know that's going to be a great idea.
Keep me off the mic.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
No, I'm having John Stark put that mic right in your face.
Oh my God! Thanks for coming. Say something good on Facebook.
Yeah. Maybe he'll get the name of the podcast right.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
On the
Illiana Stock Car Radio. Come on.
That's it.
I've been practicing.
That's it. So, yeah, this Friday night, July 18th, the Ron Goodaker Memorial at Grundy County Speedway, 44-lap super late model feature at the number 33 Shep Real Estate. Camaro will be in.
Yeah.
That was one that I know Stan and I had a bit of a heart-to-heart at the beginning of the season when he was talking about, which races he was going to and which car shows he was going to.
Yeah, that one was never a question.
You got to be at Dad's.
Yeah, that one was never a question. So we will
I'll never forget when he showed up when
South Bend
2022 when South Bend did a Dad Memorial show and you got all the Weekend Warriors at South Bend, and here comes this Zolod's hauler.
Dude, you should have seen the look on
NASCAR's not here.
Yeah, when we rolled in there, whoo, man.
That was one of my favorite memories in racing. Honestly, is everybody at the drivers' meeting. Who is that?
That was great.
And then Tony, even more confusing to everybody. He's just here for the national anthem.
Yep. Yeah, we're just there for a parade.
I think about half the pits came over and watched you unload that car.
Yeah, at least. There were a lot of eyeballs. When we got the big car out, and then we got the little car out, and it was like, what?
Even more eyeballs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, they ran Super Cups out there.
Yeah, so that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad. So, yeah, Super Lates, Mid-Am, Street Stocks, Crown Vics, and looks like the Midgets will be out there. So, looking forward to that, and looking forward to being able to get to the racetrack finally this year.
Yeah.
So, that'll be nice.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So, what else have we got coming on this weekend, if there's anything else important? So, Friday is also the Gambler.
Friday at Plymouth.
So that's a big one.
And it's also, I don't know what night, but it's a night at Kankakee.
I'm sure they're racing something.
I know they're racing Friday. I don't remember what classes are on or if anything special. Probably like, oh, you know what? It's Shout out Stephen Brooks, Georgie's Closet, $1,500 win UMP Modifieds. That's what it is. So take some donations if you're headed out to Kankakee. That is Georgie's Closet is a I don't think it's a resale company sort of. They take donations and then use their tools for good and help foster children, because I know that Steve and Allie have taken on fostering as something they do. So that's really cool for them. I know that they originally were going to do that back in June. They rained out. Here we are talking about rain again. And then so this Friday is their rain date, and I believe the last post I saw was $1,500 to win modifieds. I believe it was advertised as $1,200. So there should be some sort of information out there for confirmation on that. Maybe a typo somewhere on something, but get out to Kankakee and support the track, support Georgie's Closet. That's awesome. That's an awesome thing that they're doing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. And then Shadyhill Speedway. What do we got coming up?
Saturday night.
Saturday.
Yeah, this is Super Stock number 3 because they've got 4 events. So 4 bangers are off, and we're actually got the Indiana Mod Lights. So that's like a mini modified. And last time I watched them, because they were racing down in Florida, they were flipping them things quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so it's I know that if you get on Flow and venture off to those like one-off tracks, not the big shows, seems like every one of them's running a Mod Light series. So we'll be entertaining them on Saturday night.
Awesome. A lot of great racing coming up. A lot of entertaining stuff. And if you were entertained by this episode, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe down there, because you're probably watching this on our YouTube channel. If you're not,
what kind of pirate nonsense are you doing?
Yeah, no kidding. What the heck, man? So yeah, hit that like, hit that subscribe to the little bell, get notified when we do drop new episodes. Also, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Illiana SCR. If you like to listen on the go, we are on Spotify. It's Apple Podcasts and all YouTube podcasts and pretty much your favorite audio podcast app. We are there as well. Just search Illiana Stock Car Radio. Guys, Goodaker Photography. They mentioned it. Another autograph night's coming up, so make sure you get your driver cards. We're getting kind of towards the second half of the year, so you might need to be thinking about thank you items for sponsors. They can help you out with that kind of stuff too.
Maybe need a new right side on your car.
Yeah, need something for Goodaker Design.
I've discovered the last couple weeks. Hey, we do hats, we do T-shirts, we do whatever. What all can we do, Brian?
You name it, they'll do it.
There you go.
Look at that.
Yep.
Right, now I'm going to have to put some on the back of those hats.
Yeah, missed opportunity.
I told you. But he says too small.
It is too small, yeah. Well, we can do a different decoration.
Okay, so we're too small, and just get past the first 2 minutes.
That sounds like a different podcast.
That's a different show.
Yeah.
That's the After Dark show. So I don't know that we can really follow that up.
Nope.
Yeah. So
find us on Only Podcasts.
Only Pods. We'll be there as well. But want to thank Cameron Shidler for coming on and being a listener from the show. If you're roaming the racetracks, either Grundy, Shadyhill, anywhere, and you want to be on the show, just hit one of these guys up. You'll probably easier find one of the Goodacres than it will be to
we are
find
wearing
me.
neon green.
Yeah. They pretty much stand out. Find them. Shout out. We're always looking for willing victims, to come on the show and talk about racing and just hang out with us for a while. So with that being said, again, I want to thank Cameron for coming on. Wish Cameron Shidler all the best the rest of the season out at the Shadyhill Speedway, and look forward to seeing you all trackside. Enjoy.